And listen, if I've learned nothing else from this experience, I've learned this, that even in moments of tragedy and hurt, God is still there. Hi guys, Justin here with another episode of That Christian Vlogger. Today I want to share with you guys a personal story, a story about how I've seen God in the middle of pain and tragedy. For those of you guys who have been following my channel for the last couple of months, you know that while I was living in Philadelphia, I was assaulted. Apparently there is this new game that's called Knockout that some young people are quote-unquote playing. And the entire purpose of this game is to go up to random strangers and in one punch try to knock the person out. I know, it's crazy, it's stupid, and you know, when I was in high school, we would try and egg cars or TP people's houses just for the fun of it, but apparently nowadays the goal is to knock people out. Now, there have been multiple cases of it all across the United States, and I was just fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time. I won't share all the details of the incident since I did do a full video on it that you can watch, but basically, long story short, I needed to get surgery. All right, today is the day. I'm getting surgery here with my dad, who's taking me to get my shoulder worked on. It's like, what time is it right now? It's like 11:30 in the afternoon and I'm starving. I haven't eaten since midnight last night, and with daylight savings and the jet lag, it feels like it's 4 in the afternoon right now. So hopefully I get to eat after this. Now, to say that I was nervous about how things would turn out would be a bit of an understatement. Any type of surgery, even when it's routine surgery, can be a pretty scary thing. I mean, there's all kinds of variables and things that could just go wrong. And in my particular case, I needed to repair a muscle in my shoulder that had apparently ripped off during the assault called the labrum. So here at the surgery center, this will be my first surgery that I've ever had in my life. And definitely feeling kind of nervous, scared. Have you ever had a surgery before?
Yeah, a couple of times.
You ever been under anesthesia?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I'm gonna be like those kids that come out of the dentist's office all loopy and crazy.
You should hear my story.
What happened to you?
Apparently, I stripped my IV out and stripped my gown off.
You're just running around naked.
Yeah.
Well, if that happens, be sure I won't be having that on the video. Luckily, I happen to have an uncle who works at a surgery center where they do labrum repairs all the time. And he was able to sneak me into the surgery center with only about a week or so's notice and set me up with an amazing doctor.
That's a man.
How you doing, man? All right. You ready?
Yeah? Well, as ready as I'm gonna be.
All right, cool.
Now, here's where God's timing really came in. About a week or 10 days before the surgery, I actually quit my job and I only had insurance about until like the end of the month. And this was why getting surgery so quickly was necessary. Because, you know, if I didn't end up getting it done in time, then my surgery could cost thousands upon thousands, if not even $10,000s of dollars. So they were able to sneak me in for surgery in time for my insurance to still cover the bill and still make sure that everything was fine. This is me right before the surgery started.
You can fly.
But I can do some of it, you know, I can do the first incision or something.
We'll pass on that one. So before the surgery started, they stuck me with an IV and made me put on these like super sexy stockings on my legs, I think to like help promote circulation since I'd be stationary for so long. And after that, they started to shave my armpits. You know, not really sure why they do that, you know, especially since I have like zero hair anywhere, but they did. And after all of that, they hooked me up to some drugs and wheeled me out to the surgery room. And this is where my memory of the events completely stops. I remember being transferred to the surgery bed, but then everything goes blank. Thankfully though, since the surgeon was a family friend, my dad was able to go into the surgery room and film the entire thing. So now real quick, just as a heads up, the next part of the video might make a few of you guys just a little squeamish. I will show a few clips from the surgery, nothing terribly graphic. In fact, it was pretty cool to be able to watch back when I was watching the footage, but I will save the more, let's say, intense clips for the very end of the video. So if you're into seeing what the surgery really looked like, just, you know, watch to the very end. So what you're seeing now is the shoulder that is being operated on is essentially tied to this pole and strung up. The doctor made about 4 small incisions into my shoulder where they inserted various tools, including a small camera. In fact, if you look on the screen over there, that is in fact what the inside of my shoulder actually looks like.
So that there's his biceps tendon right there.
Nice.
Good, isn't it? And this is the humeral head. And here's the rotator cuff tendon, which looks good.
So they ended up anchoring down the labrum, that muscle that had torn off, in about 5 different spots. And I think they had to shave down some of the parts of my shoulder where there were bone spurs, and then, everything was basically done. Coming out of the surgery was pretty interesting. Like I said, once I went into the room, everything just went dark for me, and the next thing I know, I am just waking up in the room feeling rather loopy.
Yo, Adrian. Yeah. Yo, Adrian.
He can't talk though.
Talk.
I don't know, that's the loudest voice.
Yeah, because of the nerve
Are you
block.
going to be okay to take it off when you get
It
home?
reaches out to the vocal cords, diaphragm, face, the eye.
So for those of you guys who are wondering what surgery recovery is like, the first few days really actually weren't all that bad. Largely because of the nerve block, I was basically numb for like 2 or 3 days post-surgery and just ended up sleeping or lounging around in bed for those couple of days. It wasn't until after the nerve block wore off that things became really painful. Even simple things like just trying to lie down, get up, or use the bathroom, or try and change my clothes were really painful. But thankfully, over time, the pain did wear off, and that brings us to today. It's officially 3 weeks post-surgery, and my shoulder is feeling great. Day 1 at rehab. I'm gonna go get my check-in with the PT and see how everything is doing. Now, to me, this is another pretty amazing divine appointment in my opinion, because I don't really know anyone up here, let alone any physical therapist, but thankfully, one of Emily's family friends happened to recommend a physical therapist in this area, and we decided to go check them out. Turns out that this doctor, actually goes to the same church that Emily's parents go to, and we have a lot in common. Talk about a small world. This little connection that we had with the doctor just totally made me feel more at ease about my recovery, and was just another great reminder that God is still in control. I mean, what are the odds out of all the physical therapy offices that I could go to up here, out of all the physical therapists that I could see, that it would be someone that not only goes to my church, but has ties with my family? So the road to recovery has officially been embarked on. They had me doing all kinds of exercises at the office to slowly regain my mobility and strength, some rather odd exercises with pulleys and towels and things like that. And I'm optimistic that I'll regain full function sometime in the next few months. The road is long and the progress is going to be rather slow. But if I've learned anything through this process, I've learned that God really does look out for us. The Bible says that God notices when even the sparrow falls and gets hurt. And if God cares for an insignificant bird, how much more does he care for us whom he calls his children? So whatever you're going through today, I want you to know that God is there and he's looking out for you. When I was assaulted all those months ago, I didn't quite know what was in store or what would happen next, let alone the big question of why, but I did know this, that God still is on his throne. And whatever you're going through, know this, God is still there for you, and he will take care of you too. Be blessed, guys. I will see you tomorrow.
Pull a little forward. Okay, so let's do a switching stick. Then
You just file it down.
just file it down right here. Yeah, get the bone kind of roughened up. You can actually take off the orange